Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with Learn, Plan, Profit. Hope that you guys are all having a great start to the morning. I just realized I just stared at the camera for a little bit. Did not mean to do that. I'm going to pop out that little chat just so I could see exactly what is going on. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Okay, here we go. So I had to pop out this little chat. Now, how do I make this little, there we go. Sweet. I think we're all good to go, right? Congratulations. This has happened to me twice. Well, yesterday, just so you guys could see, I have no open positions, have not traded during pre-market hours. I haven't traded during pre-market hours all this week, so a little bit different, right? I've been very tired this week. I'm sure a lot of you guys can tell just by my eyes, but DGAS, which was one of the positions that I was in yesterday, ended up pushing up to highs of almost 170, right? So this is where it closed at, and this is how high it moved about 4.5% around that amount. One of the things that we are noticing is, again, it doesn't matter where it's at right now or anything like that, but because of the future, right? Because of /NG, so I can't tell much from this, right? I can just tell that this is where it closed at, and it's kind of been consolidating here. One of the things that I want you guys to pay attention to, and why, and one of the single most important reasons that I focus so much on the future, right? And not on the future like, yeah, no, not that. I mean this, like /NG, is because it has a little bit more of because it has more patterns, it's like more data that I can analyze to determine its direction. And I can see that natural gas was selling off pretty much all pre-market hours and all extended hours. And then what happened is it found a support and began to push up and show signs of an uptrend. And ultimately now we're above the middle VWAP. So we can start to begin to make these like lower lows and these lower highs as well. So just a little heads up on that, on why maybe I wouldn't pay so much attention to DGAS right now is, although it did uptrend, right? So looking at DGAS and where it's at, yeah, it is up on the day based off of where we closed at, but is it still uptrending? And as of right now, I just don't I don't think that DGAS will continue to uptrend because it looks like natural gas is beginning to uptrend. And if natural gas continues to push up, then that means that DGAS will then go down. So /CL, let's move on and talk about this one. This is probably, not saying I will, right? Confirmation is key, but do you guys see this overall? It was uptrending. It then began to descend, right? So it's below the SMA line, below the middle VWAP. So it's a downward pattern, meaning that what's uptrending if this is downtrending? DWT, right? So now, ooh, wow. Do you guys see that? Strong push up on /CL. Which means that strong push down on DWT. So what that means is that DWT has a strong, right, reversal potential or margin of profit for recovery, right? So from this middle VWAP to $7, it's about 2.5%. Not the highest price point, not the lowest price point, just something that's a little bit more realistic and around $7. That margin alone is about 2.5%, which I find to be attractive. If you don't, then 100% don't pay attention to it. It's that simple, right? I think that you guys all know every single day, it's not about what anyone else is trading is. You have to put yourself in a position in which you feel comfortable in which you understand and see value in. If you don't see value in the pattern that I'm talking about, I actually really like that. I like when you guys don't trade or don't see value in the same things that I do, because it means that you have your own eye for value, which means that and regardless if you're right or wrong, you're building your own eye for value. And as long as you're consistently refining it and working on it, and again, not trying to make it or break it, but just working on it, I think that great things can happen. Sold DWT during pre-market hours, going to get back in now. I would really just give it a little bit more time if possible. Mohammed, I'm not here to tell you, where to buy or where to sell. It's just not showing any signs of a pullback just yet. So That hair is looking... Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you. How's that yawn looking? My goodness. Woo! Alrighty. I like that, Mohammed. It says, when I say now, I mean the moment it presents itself. I like that. So, Acacia Trades. What is going on? Off to work. I like it. Good morning, Siri. What's going on, Isaac? Carlos, no pizza today? It's a rough life today, Carlos. Yeah, Ismail, that's why at any indication of a resistance, there's nothing wrong with locking in profits. There it goes, natural gas pushing up. So do you guys see this thing going on right now with /CL? So again, it's overbought. Look at the RSI, look at the MACD. It has potential to descend. But again, today's Friday. And I just want to be a little bit more patient. So it's showing signs of a potential support. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go in with so I'm going to go in with $3,500. I'm going to buy a market here. All right. All right. So that's about 23%. It's actually a little bit smaller than I expected. My position size right now is 23% of, what it normally is, of my overall desired position size. So how did Weston do yesterday? He should be updating. He was really busy with a truck that he's, getting ready to resell and stuff like that. So I think a lot of his work and time was spent doing that yesterday. But if I'm not mistaken, he did film an entire video. He just didn't edit it on time to upload it before 5 p.m. And then after that, he asked me if he should still upload it at 8 p.m. And I asked him, Weston, would you watch your own video at 8 p.m. or at, 11 p.m. East Coast time, right? And he starts cracking up. But so that video should be out for you guys today. And then he's also going to have a car video for you guys. For all those that are part of the Flipping Wheels and the Flipping Wheels Challenge, there's a new car video coming out for you guys as well. What is going on? Let's see. So again, just so you guys can see, I'm in on DWT. I literally just took the position. I'm 3,500 shares, which is exactly $23,000, right? And my average purchase price is pretty much $61, a little bit below that, or $861. I apologize. So $861. We're consolidating here. And the reason I took that position is not because of this. Like, this looks kind of weird, right? It might not be super clear for you here. But what I see value in is for crude oil to begin to sell off and correct itself. Look at the look at the RSI, look at the MACD. I see there to be potential for a sell-off. This is why I'm explaining to you. I didn't buy in at the very top. I saw signs of a pullback, right? So I got in with 20%. So there's indication there, right? And then once it begins to break below the EMA line and aggressively sell off, then I can add one more position size, right? So if and only if it goes according to plan, I'll start to add more to my position size. And the more that crude oil sells off, the more that DWT and then pushes up. If that doesn't make sense to you, if you still don't see value in it, the direction is still not super clear, it could 100% find a support here. So if you would like to give it more time, at the end of the day, you should never trade anything just because it's on my screen, just because I talk about it, or just because anyone talks about it. At the very end of the day, you are put to the test. I am put to the test. We are each put up to the plate, and it's about how we how we deal with patience, how with our ability to manage risk, and our ability to allow the opportunity to present itself. So it looks like it's almost trying to bounce here. So it's a test for the team. It's a test every day. I didn't do very good with tests in school, but I'm doing better now with these tests. Just imagine if you're in high school or in college and every time that you'd pass a test, you'd get paid. Or you get a discount in your tuition. Hey, that's not a bad idea. I'd study. How many of you guys would feel more motivated? Oh. Here we go. I'm just going to get this ready. If it goes according to plan, right? I like that. Yeah, just imagine you getting paid every time that you did well in a test, or that you got a certain dollar amount back from your tuition. That'd be pretty cool. It looks like it's beginning to change its direction as well, So the MACD still looks good, as you guys could tell. The RSI still looks good, all that. Like, everything looks decent, but we're just getting too much consolidation. So because of that, my biggest focus is not putting myself in a bad position today. Whoa. I'm not trading crude oil. Jesus. And just so you guys could see, I am down like $65. It's nothing that's, it's not because of the dollar amount or anything like that. It's literally just because it's breaking its pattern, right? Do you guys see how it's beginning to try to bounce off the CMA line and continue to rally? And the more that this thing goes up, the more that crude oil DWT goes down. So I'm just, again, if it breaks above the middle VWAP, that's signs of a potential bounce off of the SMA line and the EMA line, which means that the pattern that I saw value in of crude oil selling off because it's overextended no longer becomes relevant. Do you guys get that? What is DGAS doing? It looks like natural gas is still kind of bouncing. It didn't make higher highs here, so watch out for that. But it's not making lower lows, so we're kind of just consolidating here. So in my eyes, there's no clear direction of what's trading up or what's trading down. If anything, it's still trying to transition from descending to ascending here. So little heads up on that. I'm about to sneeze, guys. Warning to all microphone users. Jeez. Thank you. There was something that I forgot in the morning, and I just remembered what it was. It was my vitamin C pill. Here we go. Looks like it's trying to bounce again. And again, this is my DWT position. How many of you guys are pumped that it's Friday? Any fun plans for the weekend? Again, I'm still watching here for there to be a potential break of pattern. Plus, I appreciate it. Thank you. Wishing it was Wednesday. Cousin's wedding. Studying Cabo. Wow. Need to learn to be as calm as you. I have a really good response to that, Adrian. Just give me a second. Racing at... Wow, okay. That's so cool. Jesus. You guys are all doing super fun stuff. I thought you guys were just going to be like, hanging out with the family, friends. They're going to Cabo, racing. I like that last. Just another day in paradise. Nabil, I like that. Time to lock in profits, right? Potential change of direction. I like that. Nice. Table tennis, review LPP course. Oh, interesting. Watch out. Yeah, we've had a couple people. We never like to ask people to review the course, but because we just don't want to get or encourage people to think that they have to say something. But yeah, what we've learned is if you keep it super simple about the top 3 things that you either like about it or what you wish would improve and stuff like that, I think that could be something just to keep it super simple. And for all those that have their affiliate links, usually it turns out pretty well in your favor, right? But yeah, I'm excited to check it out and see what you have to say. Hopefully some constructive criticism, right? I'm always open to, and I hope you guys know that, I'm always open to wanting to do better, right? And improve. And let's see. Hey, what kind of monitor do you use to watch your futures? It's pretty wide. People always ask me about this one. I don't know. I bought it at Best Buy. I just liked it because it was a little bit bigger than wider than the others. I think it's a 30-inch. And honestly, it's the most expensive monitor that I would never buy it. If it was just, I literally bought it because I have to have more write-offs for what it is that, when it comes down to for trading purposes. This is a monitor, right? And it could be viewed as write-off. And I would never buy a $300, to me it's expensive, a $300 monitor. I don't know much about computers, but there's TV screens just this big that were $150, and I was I just don't get it. Why is this more expensive? But it's because, I don't know, it's meant for this, so it reacts quicker, and I was okay, well then I need that instant, stuff and stuff like that. So yeah, the speed 100%, and the quality, it actually is really, really good. But I guess you get what you pay for, right? But being me, right, and not wanting to spend a lot of money, hurt my elbow and scratched my elbow and then just went for it. So I'm very happy with it though, but I'm not here to say that that's the best monitor. This is the only second monitor that I've ever purchased. All my other monitors were TV screens. So the brand is LG, but again, I'm not here to promote it. I'm here to tell you that it's the one that I use, and I like it. But there's a really cool one that's curved. I don't know if you guys have seen that. That one was $600. I was ooh, I'm about to ball out. But I didn't. No, I thought too expensive. You have that one? I like it. What chart timeframes do you look at when you to look for a swing trade? It really depends. When I look for swing trades, right? So it's not something that I've been doing recently because I have found the market to become more inconsistent. So I just want to share that, right? But with that being said, I have found myself to try to identify a consistent pattern with a clear uptrend direction that is a good deal, right? on the 20-day 1 hour chart or the 180-day 4 hour chart. So those are the main time frames that I look at. Those are not the ones that you have to look at, but again, when it comes down to swing trading, the risk of you want there to be more than just 1 day of patterns or 1 day of growth, right? So that is why I look at larger time frames to then determine more of its true direction, not what happened recently. But then when I day trade, I want to look at more relevant, right, recent patterns. What else are you gonna make? That Lambo payment, dropping $600 on the monitor. I don't have a Lambo payment, so that probably sounds bad, but I don't view my, like, I will literally buy, like, and this is just because I'm a car guy, not because I'm a car guy, but because I understand how I can buy and resell them. So I would literally buy I'd buy 10 Lamborghini Huracans. I'll buy them all out, right? But really good deals. As long as they're really good deals, I buy them for like 160, 170,000, something like that. And I know I can sell them for 190, 200. To me, it makes sense, right? It looks like I literally got in at the peak. Not the peak essentially, but pretty much. But yeah, when I look at these monitors, I just have to, I'm very new to, these type of things where like you have to have write-offs, and that's new to me. That's very unique. I'm very happy to be a deal hunter and stuff like that. So I don't know if that makes any sense. It's just different. It makes you think a little bit differently. That it's not about always getting the best deal at that point. It's about what makes more sense for the market that you're participating in. And we've experienced this with cars as well, where if we invest a certain amount in the car and we think that it could appreciate in value, then it's worth the investment. Same thing with this. So I have no idea. I could not tell you. Like it I don't want to say it wasn't supposed to be downtrending. Like nothing's supposed to happen. But based off of seasons and how natural gas performs, so crude oil, just so you guys could see, crude oil is selling off. It's correcting itself a little bit, right? But yeah, natural gas has its seasons, and it usually, if I'm not mistaken, does well during the winter, and it didn't do very well. Actually, it did, and then it'll correct itself, and then does well during the summer, but then it didn't. So there's a lot of things that were supposed to happen that didn't, and then that's what just made me realize that again. Not that point only, but it just made it very clear to me that like patterns tend to repeat themselves, but at the end of the day, they don't have to, right? And that's why confirmation is key. So for all those that went into like swing trades very early into you guys and thinking that it's bound to happen, these are leveraged ETFs, and this is why I explain that like confirmation is so important. What the heck? There was buyers there. Okay, this thing's gonna push. I got fill. That was a very weird fill. Here we go. Bid. I sold at 688, so I sold at the bid, right? I didn't care so much to sell at the ask. The MACD and the RSI, again, it's Friday. And there's no question that my performance on Fridays are never, ever, like, consistently the best. There might be some days that I do well, but consistently, they are not always the best. So because of that, I decided to lock in profits. And yeah, it 100%, like looking at crude oil, 100%, think about it. Like, it still has so much to sell off. But the MACD, right? And there it goes. There it goes. and there goes RSI, and we should have seen it push up to 690. Here we go. It hit highs of 690, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that put me at $549 profit, which you guys saw me buy and saw me sell and saw me average up. And yeah, it's cool. Like, I like it. It motivates me, makes me think that, like, wow, I was efficient with that trade, keeping it simple. And literally, market opened 26 minutes ago. So if I'm going to try to maximize my trade, my first trade, first of many, hopefully first of few today, I just didn't think it was worth it. So because of that, I'm going to wait for another opportunity to present itself. I just remembered one of our members' questions, and they asked, what was the question? Jeez, I told you that I was going to get back to you. DWT just pushed above 690. Here we go. We're about to hit 691 on the ask. Let's see. Oh, yep, it's still pushing up. There we go, 691. Oh, how do you stay so calm? Oh, I appreciate that. 690, 691, 692. Jesus. And the FOMO kicks in. There it goes, 693. Can I get a 693? There we go, 694. 694 for the boys, 694 for the boys. Can we get a little bit more sell-off? 694, 694, 694. Again, I'm just here to remind you, I know we're trying to like have a good time. I'm just here to remind you to lock in profits at any indication, whether you might be at a resistance or when it's no longer a good deal. Right? That is all I'm here to remind you. Actions speak louder than words. So it's not the extra 2-3 cents. It's not going to be life changing. What can discourage you is if you go from green to red. So that's all I'm here to remind you. Thinking about big picture and not just in the now. So to answer that question of how do I stay so calm, I've received that comment and that feedback very often. I don't even want to I don't know how to respond to it in a comment format because I don't feel like I'm super calm, especially with the dollar amount that I'm trading with now. And the reason I'm saying that is I might not just express it, and I don't want to say that I ever really do. I'm not a very I don't know, I don't express emotions too often, right? So I'm happy and usually that's it. But if I'm sad, I don't cry, right? If I get upset, I'll just get quiet. But at the end of the day, it's just, I think it's the way of how it is that I am and how I express things. So I want you to know that you are not alone when it comes down to, feeling maybe uncomfortable and uneasy at certain points in a position. When I begin to see that there's a break of pattern, and trust me, I know, right? That you just begin to almost get discouraged. You get those kind of cold hands, right? Cold feeling of dang, I'm in the red, I'm going to have to cut losses. What I'm just thinking is if I cut losses and I keep my losses small, I've reminded myself that is a really good thing. And this is what I kind of want to leave you with this whole idea of, when they say 95% of people in this market lose money. And I think it's because literally 100% of people are only focused on making money in the market. At least that those 95% of people only think about making money. And yeah, they might have an understanding of risk management and what it means, but like we said before, actions speak louder than words. So yesterday during the live stream, when I cut my losses at less than $150, when I had a pretty hefty trade, and I saw that I was only down $150, I was so proud of myself. That was so rewarding to me because I was heck yeah. I managed my risk. I'm doing something that 95% of people can't do, keeping my losses small. And there it goes. The bid in the ask continues to push up. So from where I sold to where it's at right now, dang, that's hefty. Would have been nice. Yeah, the biggest thing is you just have to understand it. And this is going to be one of the most difficult, at least just concepts about the stock market that I think a lot of people fail to grasp. And it's loss is absolutely inevitable. Like, you have to understand that. So what can you do about that? You manage it. That is all. If you can every single day just control your risk and your loss at 1%, just think about that at 1%, and that's kind of a lot, right? Especially for me. At 1% every single day, you literally can take 3 losses, but as long as you focus on every single trade offering a 3 to 5% margin of profit, which happens weekly. You just have to be patient enough. But if you stick to that every single day, you manage your risk at 1%. And even if you're under the Pdt Rule, but on that 4th trade, it goes according to plan, you can have a 25% success rate and still end up breaking even or actually making money. And it's much easier said than done. The numbers make sense, but what is the issue is what you said. Emotions, right? And how you control yourself, how you react to the reaction of the market. So when I cut losses and I keep those losses small, I am very proud of myself. That's what I wanted to leave you guys with. I like that, Brian. Congrats. That's exactly what I was thinking about, Matthew. Exactly. Numbers for sure make sense when following your rules, right? Like, everything, when you have it down to the numbers, it makes sense. But when you begin to break rules, when you begin to cut corners, and when you simply begin to become less disciplined and less structured, just like running a business, just like having a job, you then begin to experience the effects of that. So obviously, if you were to have like a computer that would do this, right? If you were to think about yourself as to be as systematic as that, then that would kind of be the approach. Well, appreciate that. Thank you. Ricky, if I average up on a trade twice, does that mean I used 2 day trades? No, that's a really good question, and I can definitely see why you might see that. So how that works is you can buy as many times, but it's the selling that has to be in one, and that's still 1 day trade. David, then I would refine where you cut losses. There should be either a max loss that you have or either at a break of pattern that you manage your risk at. So you have to determine and slowly refine that. So that's why I would say be very careful with the dollar amount that you're working with, because right now it's a testing phase. You're testing everything. So bye, baby, bye. Right? Here he goes. Oh, crude oil is still selling off. I was about to check out UWT for a potential reversal here, but it doesn't look like it's doing it just yet. Looks like it's still selling off. DWT still pushing up, and again, but you still get charged commission per. Of course, yeah. I mean, TD Ameritrade doesn't like you try to execute a new order, they will charge you the commission. Does that go for Robinhood as well for the day trades? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. You're more than welcome to call your brokerage to confirm this. But yeah, if you a day trade is viewed as the buying and selling, but if you buy 5 times and then just sell once, right? Then it's viewed as 1 day trade. Now, if you sell and then you buy that same stock within the day, that might be a little bit different, because I don't know if you could how many times. I mean, you should still be able to do that where you just buy, and then if you sell once, just be very careful with how you sell it. You just want to do it in one order, right? No, Brian, because I can trade the inverse ETF at that point, right? Probably like, when would you guys say I started trading with $100,000? Like 3 months ago? It hasn't been a long time. It's been, not for me, that's not a long time. Just think about it like, I'm still building, especially with that dollar amount, to me, that's a lot of money, right? And I'm just like, I think a lot of you guys could agree, it's, building my confidence, my experience, my ability to deal with emotions with that. So there it goes. Strong push on DWT. How many people have just locked in profits on DWT? How do you get around the Pdt rule with a 20K account size? You patiently grow it to over $25,000. There's no way that I've figured out that you don't want to, again, the restriction should be viewed as an empowerment. Like, you should be empowered to only take 3-day trades within a 5-day period. To be out of that 25K, right, restriction, you have earned the ability to day trade as many times. So again, take it as a test, right, as like a prerequisite. Not until you have passed 25, right, okay, then can you do that. So people are saying cash account. That's not necessarily, because if he wants to take a 20K position size, it then takes 3 days to settle, which defeats the whole purpose. So yeah, you're not under the Pdt rule, but you still then have to wait 3 days for your cash to settle. Yeah, move out of the country, or out of the country account. Yeah, that's a way. I just, I don't know. I don't recommend that for people. Yeah, right. FOMO's for guys. We did an absolute. Can we get a heyo for the amazing job we called out on /CL? I think that deserves a solid. Not for me, but for like all of us, right? For those that saw value in it. I don't even care if you took a position on it, but if you saw value in it and it made sense, check this out, right? Check how it played out and how it sold off. That's amazing. And at the end of the day, like, if you're just getting started, you shouldn't care to take a position. You just want to immerse yourself in this market. And as long as you become, more well-versed and you become more familiar with patterns, how and why confirmation is so important, a true direction, previous supports can act as, potential reversal areas, right? So it literally, this was almost a perfect setup, but it doesn't always turn out like this. There's a lot of consolidation here, but just continue to rally. Look at that MACD, right? That MACD was curling back in, and then it began to continue to sell off. Look at that RSI. Indicators are great references, but to never be used as an entry or exit. And this is a perfect example, right? I like that. Let's calculate how much money I would have made, right? I sold at 8.8 and it hit highs of 7.0, 1.73%. I would have made 1K, 2.2K. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. I would have not held this long, so I would have not made that money. Alrighty. But look, it hit highs of about 7.05 during pre-market hours, right? So I want to give this a little bit more time. What's an AC holder? Here we go. Oh. That's up to you, right? If you want to hold through a potential recovery, because at the very end of the day, nothing has to recover. So that's just something that I would take into consideration before coming up with the idea that it's bound to, happen. So just something to take into consideration. Natural gas is still sold off. I'm going to set my alerts, right? I like that. We have pretty good setups right now. If they confirm and if they reverse. Oh, there it goes. Getting rejected. This is why it's so important to wait for confirmation, right? Especially on a Friday. Especially on a Friday. Do you guys see the overall direction? Can I get your guys' input? Your guys' input for /NQ. This is the overall market, right? So everyone was all happy because they're like, oh, look, it's showing signs of an uptrend, all that stuff. And then look what happened. This is what I want you to pay attention to. I've said it multiple times. It was showing signs of an uptrend and then began to break below the SMA line. What used to act as a support is now acting as a resistance. And if it's consolidating at the middle VWAP and then begins to descend and gets still rejected by the overall SMA line, that is confirmation of a descending pattern. So just a heads up on that. There it goes. Looks like it's going to be trying to reverse. I'm going to set a couple more alerts because that's just pretty much at the EMA line. And let's be honest, it's been getting rejected nonstop at this EMA line. So, ooh, look at DWT. A little push. Look how that makes /CL look. Do you guys see that? Look at that. Look at DWT, 702, 703. Bid, ask. Right? Patterns tend to repeat themselves. They don't have to. It doesn't have to bounce here. It'd be nice, but it doesn't have to. There it goes. That would be like ideal, right? If it formulates a double bottom, it doesn't have to. It can 100% sell off with its descending EMA line and aggressive descending SMA line. Everything's pointing down on this right now. So again, if I'm so certain that it's going to bounce, why not just at least wait for some form of indication of a support? Can a small account holder who trades once or twice a week back hold for recovery? Market tends to bounce back. I think so. I mean, I feel like that would be dependent on the hope and desire of the market bouncing back, which it, at the end of the day, does not have to. It tends to, but I think we can both agree, or all agree, that the market's been very inconsistent. So because of that inconsistency, it brings uncertainty. And with inconsistency, does it make sense to hold something? I'd rather not be in anything that's inconsistent than to be in something inconsistent and hope it plays out in my favor. That's just my opinion, right? Can you explain what a double bottom is? So if it were to bounce here, it literally is just a fancy word for bouncing at the same support after, so pretty much like this, where it sold off, it pushed up, and then sold off, and if it were to bounce at the same place, and then it were to change its overall direction. So it almost does like a little W, right? But normally it doesn't push up this high based off of previous highs. So it looks like it is bouncing right now. So look at that. That's a nice push. That's about almost 1%. Wow. But now we're at that EMA line, right? So we got an indication of a potential support, but we're still below the EMA line, and let's be honest, this is what's been acting as a resistance. So So if and only if we begin to get signs of an uptrend and confirmation of that, right, then it would make sense on why crude oil can then try to push up. So I didn't notice, I'm sorry, I don't think you guys really care, right? But I've been live for 45 minutes. Are you guys cool with continuing the stream? Our live streams have been a little bit longer this week, but it's just because I felt bad for the Miami trip, felt bad for missing out on Monday, right? And even though I don't necessarily have to, like, I like spending time with you guys. No one's up in the morning here, and I don't like talking to myself. I don't talk to myself. That was weird, but jeez, you guys know what I mean. Get lonely in the mornings. Natural gas got rejected, so again, that was a false. Remember, it pushed up, it touched the EMA line, but then continued to get rejected. So just a little heads up on that. So waiting to see what happens here. I like that. We're just kind of consolidating here. The MACD, it looks decent. The RSI looks good. It looks like it's still in our favor pretty much, right? Just we're not making higher highs. So I'm not going to add more to my position size by any means right now. But if we begin to get rejected, right, then that's indication of a resistance, and probably I'm going to have to manage my risks and try to keep the losses small, right? So I'd rather be ready for that. Whoa. Oh yeah, on this. And there it goes. There we go. Let's see where we're at. I want to give it a cushion. I don't want to be someone that just right away sells it, but still to keep, a max loss in mind. What are the other watch lists you have? Oh, these are all my secret watch lists that I don't share with anyone. I'm kidding. They're just different little things. Like, these are my current trades. This is for the Sunday stock talk. General watch list, ETFs. Nothing special. Oh, they're all secrets. None of you can have access to them. All mine. No, that wasn't funny. I apologize. I thought it was a little funny. Natural gas looking like a great buy. It's still descending last time I checked. I can definitely see why, right? Based off previous supports, we just really need to begin to make higher highs, right? So alrighty. Oh, wow. Well, for what it's worth. Bounce back. Gee willikers. Wow. Holy smokes. Wow. Jeez, come on. Yo. TD Ameritrade. Holy crud. Sold at 43. Wow, that was horrible. That could have gone so bad. That was a solid trade. I averaged up way too late. That push, and based off my experience, these are the pushes, and in our eyes, that we normally think that we hope for. These are the type of pushes where like we buy, it begins to push up, and then it shoots up. That's like, wow, okay, that was really nice, right? And there it goes, it pulled back. So the volatility is really picking up, and I really don't like that. So I'm glad I'm out of it. I made $1,200. What I want to remind you is that in my experience and in my opinion, this is all I'm here to say, it does not normally trade like that. It does not normally confirm and then just shoot up. So that is why I was kind of hesitant to go in right away. I was trying to be more selective, and then I saw that it just continued to break. I saw the volume spike up, and I was like, it's like pretty much breaking out. And because of that, I decided to get in a little bit more aggressively and then lock in profits. But I just want to remind you that this is not something that I would try to think every single time is going to happen. I would think that that is very hopeful. This reversal was like very ideal. Ideal setups, in my experience, don't always happen. And I'm just here to share the not so pretty parts. You guys saw a very pretty trade that happened. I don't want you to think the whole purpose of these live trading sessions are from you to take away my thought process and what happened and maybe why. I want you to know that I don't want you to think that as soon as you average up that it's going to shoot up. If you guys have watched me trade multiple times, it literally like almost never happens like that. So please, please, please don't take this one experience to think that this is going to be something that happens all the time. So I appreciate that. I don't know why it did that. I think because you said assessment, and it probably thought you said like hash or something. I don't know. But yeah, that was a solid trade. I'm very happy with that. That was $1,200, so almost $1,300. So that's about 1.3% on the day, and it's less than 1 hour. I'm literally at almost my daily goal, right? And yeah. And one of my alerts was natural gas, right? Natural gas is beginning to potentially reverse. Done for the day. No, I am. Thank you. Oh, congrats. I sold my position. I still sold my position with a limit order, but I sold it with a limit order that was like open. Like it pretty much was moving according to the bid and the ask, which made it much easier for, as the stock moved up, it would follow it, right? So then it would put it at the bid, and then I just sold at the bid, and at that point it was 11.43 or something like that. So it looks like it's still trying to uptrend, which it can, but again, this overall SMA line has been acting as a resistance, right? So if I were to think like where I got out and how much more it has to push up, like definitely it still has more margin, but I don't think that's worth a trade for the potential for this thing to continue to get rejected. So because of that, I'm out, dog. I'm very happy with how things. So natural gas is pushing up. Look at that. Natural gas is pushing up. Watch out for potential resistance here, but natural gas is pushing up. So what time frequency is he looking at? Can you guys not see it? It says 1 day, 1 minute. Is my screen not clear? It looks healthy on my side. Okay. I think there was certain news. Let's check this out. /NQ. Yeah, there was certain news that caused this push. That was not a normal push. Perfect example. So it just happened to happen for this push. So it could have gone the other way. But it looks like some news came out for the overall market, and like we saw on Tuesday, right? So 722. This must be the thing. I don't know if that was it. Yeah, it is talking about oil, but why did that cause this? What time did this go up? 7:20. So yeah. Hey, what's going on, Alex? What's up? But yeah, /NQ, and if you guys check this out, /CL are showing very similar patterns to where it's at right now. There it goes. I want to wait for a little bit more confirmation. I want to wait for lower lows on, there it goes. Natural gas approaching potential support at 54.40. The MACD is still descending for /CL, but oh, there it goes. So the MACD is still descending, the RSI is still pointing out, but potential support, again, we're approaching a potential support. So at any indication of a resistance, we lock in profits, baby. No, sell. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. I hit my daily goal. I hit my daily goal within 1 hour. Ho, ho. Dab, dab, dab. All right, $1,700 profit, 1.7%. Guys, it's Friday. I want to enjoy my Friday. And unless something shoots up super aggressively and unless something shoots down super aggressively, I am done trading. I am someone that understands that I suck on Fridays. I don't know why. I don't know if I get put under the pressure, but I am so happy, so thankful for what I was able to do within this 1 hour. Literally 1 hour with you guys. Look at that. 1 freaking hour. I owe you guys 30 seconds. But there we go. And look at that. It looks like it peaked out, pulled back. It's not selling off yet, but I like that. Well done on a Friday, no less. Sorry for my little dance. That was embarrassing, but hey, I mean, if you're going to laugh at anyone, it better be me, right? So I really do appreciate your guys' time. I hope that I'm done. I'm so happy. I literally think I'm just going to post this live stream just so people could see. I don't know, or I should just do a recap. I don't know what you think, what's better. But I'm so thankful, so blessed. I ended the week green. I was kind of scared. I haven't had a red week in a while. I started with a $700 loss. So let me explain this. A $700 loss on Monday, a $2,800 loss on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, I had a $2,800, $2,799, $2,800 day, right? So pretty much the Wednesday and Tuesday pretty much break even. And then I had a $100 day yesterday, recovering from a huge loss. So my mindset was just like, geez, like this week is rough. A lot of inconsistencies. I have to be more patient. I have to be more selective. And I know a lot of you guys have heard this, but the market is always changing. And literally every single day is a new challenge. Every single day we are learning new things about ourselves and about the market and about what makes most sense at that time to trade it. So that is why I am here not to tell you what to do, but that is why I'm here to empower you to be self-sufficient, right? To teach you certain tips and tricks in which you can build off of that can allow you to become a problem solver, because that's exactly what I think we need. We need problem solvers. We don't need people that need to be told what to do. So we were put to the test today. Some passed, some didn't. For those that maybe didn't pass, I hope that you at least manage that risk. That's the most important part. Keep those losses small. And if you're still working on that, trust me, it took me years to literally understand the importance of risk management. So you are no different, but you have me to hold you accountable. So I am here to remind you every single day about what you don't want to hear. And that's not just about all the beautiful parts about trading, but yeah, about the ugly parts. You guys see a lot of the ugly parts about trading on my live stream. I've, especially this week. It's been a rough week, and I think a lot of you guys can agree with me. Some people that had a 12% day yesterday because they held, what was that, you guys or D guys or whatever it was, congrats to you, but just understand that that's not normal. Don't just think that that's always going to happen. Allow the opportunity to present itself. Be patient, wait for confirmation, and be extremely selective, especially in a market where we tend to see inconsistencies. So now it's still shooting up. How dare DWT still shoot up after I sold, huh? How dare it? But there it goes. So altogether, again, $1,774.77. Total orders were 9 orders. That's not bad. 9 orders, and usually it's 2 averages up, 1 sell. So literally 3 day trades. Boom! I like that. I like that. Good Friday, boys and girls, right? I appreciate all of you. Again, for all those that have maybe extra time this weekend, one of the last reminders that I do want to have or ask, well, there it goes, just pushing up, is if you guys go on over to our YouTube channel, we have Weston that's going to be posting an update on his trading. So if you guys would like to follow along with that, he's super excited to share his experience. He's also like an absolute beginner, so you just get someone else's input. So again, that's Weston Moore. He's our mentor within Flipping Wheels, and feel free to check that out as well. So I really do appreciate you guys' time. For all those that are going to be making reviews about the LPP course, again, just keep it super simple. And feel free to share, what you like most about it and what you would like to see improved if you have any areas of opportunity and stuff like that. So let me know if you guys need your affiliate link or anything like that. Just send me a direct message on Discord with the email that you use to enroll. That's simple. So I wish you guys an amazing Friday. Continue working hard, continue following your dreams, let your passion be what drives your success. Make someone smile today, enjoy your weekend, learn something new, and like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.